America is rejoicing today after al-Qaeda mastermind Osama bin Laden was killed by U.S. forces. Hear how one of this country's most notorious enemies was finally taken out.
And the celebrations were widespread across the nation. Even college campuses came alive with students showing their gratitude. Those stories and more coming up on Hofstra News Now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Veronica Kennedy.
And I'm Christian Heimel. Here's what's happening right now. Big news sweeping the world today. It's a story that everyone is talking about. Nearly a decade after the September 11th terrorist attacks, the White House announced that the world's most wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden, is dead. Samantha Hayes has the details on the mission and how the U.S. found out where he was hiding.
Feelings of patriotism and pride this Monday after news from the president that Osama bin Laden has been killed.
Late Sunday night, President Barack Obama delivered the stunning announcement from the East Wing of the White House.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda.
These are the first pictures of the compound where bin Laden was killed. A small team carried out the mission, according to the president, killing bin Laden in a mansion in Abbottabad, about 2 hours north of Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. Their orders were to kill, not capture him.
Cheers erupted from Ground Zero and outside the White House Sunday night, where crowds gathered as the news spread.
This is America. We rise to the challenge, we persevere, and we get the job done.
The death of bin Laden marks the end of a 10-year worldwide manhunt. The FBI has changed bin Laden's status on their top 10 most wanted list to deceased.
In a statement, former President George W. Bush said, "This momentous achievement marks a victory for America, for people who seek peace around the world, and for all those who lost loved ones on September 11, 2001. Amid concerns of retaliation from al-Qaeda, the U.S. State Department says it will step up security at U.S. diplomatic facilities all over the world. One terrorism expert says the U.S. will be watching to see who succeeds bin Laden.
And I think the successor will be nothing, fortunately, on the scale of what we've seen of Osama bin Laden.
Questions surrounding bin Laden's identity were also answered with a positive result from a DNA match. In Washington, I'm Samantha Hayes.
The news of Osama bin Laden's death broke just before 11 last night. President Barack Obama addressed the nation shortly after to confirm the news.
Families of the 9/11 victims say they are feeling vindicated with the news of Osama bin Laden's death. The al-Qaeda leader was shot in the head during a firefight with American forces. Alice Holander's son, Mark Bingham, died on United Flight 93.
My son was killed on September 11th, and the lives of so many people were snuffed out on that day, and it is such a glorious thing that a measure of justice has been reaped today.
Holland says she was surprised by the news and made her family tune in. Bin Laden was killed in a $1 million mansion in Pakistan. One of his sons, 2 couriers, and a woman used as a human shield were also killed in the firefight. After Osama bin Laden was killed in Pakistan, the country's High Commissioner spoke to the UK, and Wajid Hassan says Pakistan has greatly contributed to the war on terror. Hassan says Pakistan has been carrying out operations on their own. Hassan also says the country's efforts made it a prime target.
Yes, Pakistan will obviously be target number 1 because they feel that we are responsible for this whole operation.
The Pakistani government has surrendered 600 al-Qaeda operatives since the war on terror began. The country has lost 30,000 civilians and 5,000 troops, including generals, brigadiers, and senior officers. The UN intelligence on bin Laden's location was based on Pakistani information.
Well, shortly after President Obama confirmed the death of the mastermind behind the September 11th attacks, college students in Boston poured into the streets to celebrate. Social networking got many of the students to leave their rooms and head outside.
I was in the library and I saw a bunch of people Facebook updating about Osama bin Laden's dead, and so I looked online and saw in the New York Times, and I got a bunch of texts, and then I walked outside and saw all of this.
The planes that crashed into the World Trade Center both flew out of Boston's Logan Airport. The New York Police Department now is taking more precautions and increasing police presence in the subway system. This comes after the announcement of Osama bin Laden's death. Police Commissioner Ray Kelly ordered the midnight tour to stay during this morning's rush hour. There are no specific threats toward the city, but police are asked to stay alert.
Police have expanded the investigation surrounding the human remains found on Long Island's Gilgo Beach. The first set of bodies were discovered along Ocean Parkway back in December, and a total of 10 sets of remains have turned up so far. This morning, they started searching the Wantagh State Parkway between Merrick Road and Ocean Parkway. It's unclear when the search will be called off. Police are still looking for a missing New Jersey prostitute who could be another victim of this possible serial killer. Shannon Gilbert disappeared near the beach back in December, and the search for her led to the discovery of the remains. Well, gas prices continue to surge with an 11% hike over the last 41 days. According to AAA, the national averages for gas hit $3.95 for regular, while mid is $4.09. Meanwhile, premium is up $4.22 per gallon. But of course, the numbers here on Long Island are much higher. The average hit $4.24 per gallon in Nassau County for the regular, with mid coming in at $4.35. Premium is up to $4.47 a gallon. That's $1.10 more than just a year ago.
Back here on campus, the Career Center at Hofstra has many benefits for students looking for an internship or a job, but there are many students who don't make use of it. Career Center Executive Director Fred Burke says students who do make use of the Career Center have better opportunities.
Take advantage of the office, but the students who do use the office tend to fare better with both their job and their internship searches.
The center holds numerous resume workshops and mock interviews throughout the semester. It even offers scholarship opportunities that students can take advantage of. The center is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It was a day of royal weddings, but Kate and William of London weren't the only two getting hitched last Friday. So were our very own royal couple, Kate and Willie Hofstra, and it was a very special wedding. Originally set to take place in Bits and Bytes, the outdoor ring exchange attracted an amazing student body turnout. Cameras flashed as Kate and Willie strutted hand in hand.
It was pretty cool seeing all the students take pictures outside as Kate and Willie were getting married and things.
Blowing bubbles.
And blowing bubbles, so it was pretty cool. It was, I think it was a good event for students as well.
Following the wedding, students were invited for cake and tea in Bits and Bytes, where the royal couple sealed their vows with a kiss.
Well, this Saturday, Hofstra University will be hosting the 4th Annual International Children's Day. The event will be held at the Adams Playhouse and will involve many different activities, including games and prizes. Special dances will also be featured, representing an array of cultures, including Africa, Korea, and many more. Tickets are just $10, and all ages are welcome.
Parents in Connecticut are relieved that their son will not be in debt after being approved for a platinum credit card. 5-year-old Hunter Addy of Wallingford was receiving junk mail from Capital One urging the boy to apply for a card. When his parents called the company to solve the issue, Capital One suggested applying for a card knowing that he would get rejected and the mail would stop. The problem? When they did, Hunter was approved instantly, and a week later was the proud owner of a platinum card. His parents called again, and the company insisted they speak to the actual card holder despite his age. After a call to their local news station, the family finally got the situation resolved and the account closed.
Well, to weather now, it's getting a little chilly outside. Let's take a look at our weather forecast to see what's in store for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with highs in the mid-70s. Get those umbrellas out for Wednesday. Expect showers with highs in the mid-60s. The sun comes out for Cinco de Mayo on Thursday, but it gets a little cooler as temperatures drop down to the high 50s. The weekend starts off on a cloudy note Friday with highs in the 60s. Saturday, partly cloudy with highs still in those mid-60s. And finally, rounding off the week on Sunday, the rain returns with highs in the low 60s. Coming up in sports, the men's lacrosse squad faced off against Penn State in their final conference game of the season. Could the Pride close out the CAA slate on a high note?
But sports was on the back burner last night when the news of bin Laden's death. See what the reaction was at Citizens Bank Park when the Phillies played host to the Mets.
America's greatness was not crafted in skyscrapers alone, but on the ground by those who could see what needed to be done. Volunteers who in service stepped forward onto the dust of the moon, the levee in the heartland, the marble steps of a dream. You may ask yourself, where's my moon, my levee, my dream? Well, it's here with you. Step forward, Help renew America at usaservice.org.
Welcome back to Hofstra News Now. Now here's Ray Vitella with sports.
All right, thanks, Veronica. In recent years, the rivalry between the Mets and Phillies could be considered a less than civil affair. But last night, the rivalry will be timelined as the evening baseball took a backseat to the news of the death of Osama bin Laden. A 1-1 game in the ninth inning came second as over 44,000 strong at Citizens Bank Park reacted to the news late last night, chanting USA. As for the action on the field, fast forward to the top of the 14th inning, game still tied at 1 apiece when Ronnie Paulino laced a double down the left field line. David Wright, well, you come on down. Mets take a 2-1 lead, and that's how they win it. Paulino goes 5 for 7 in his first start of the season off the DL. Chris Young allows no runs and 2 hits in 7 innings of work. May 1st of last season, instead of doing his home run trot, Curtis Granderson found himself limping around the bases with a bad hamstring. The way the Yankees center fielder smacked the ball in the month of April, it seemed as if not even a bad hammy could slow him down. So could the Grandy man continue the hot stretch into May? Oh yeah, the Grandy man can. 2-2 game, bottom 5 with runners on the corners. Granderson launches his 8th homer of the year, now tied for the team lead with Robinson Cano. Top 7, still 5-2. Dicey spot for Boone Logan with 2 on and 2 out. And look at Boone getting fancy, going behind the back to get out of the jam. Take another look at it. Christian, I don't even think you could do that.
Not true at all.
Yanks win it 5-2 as Logan is still trying to comprehend what happened. On to men's lacrosse now, where the Hofstra Pride look to lock up home field advantage for the CAA tournament starting this Wednesday. The only team standing in their way, the 20th ranked Penn State Nittany Lions traveling up to the Dutch Dome. 2 goals apiece from Adrian Soracchetti and Stephen Bentz, and 17 saves from Andrew Gavazin and net power 9-4 Pride victory. They outscored Penn State 6-2 in the final 2 frames. The blue and gold will get a chance at redemption Wednesday as they host Delaware in round 1 of the CAA tournament. Penn State, they will host UMass. Now, Hofstra softball has been equally as hot in conference play coming into this weekend. 13-1 in the CAA, traveling down to bottom fielder UNC Wilmington. Bill Edwards and company look to keep the good times rolling. Tessa Ziemba capped off the series sweep with a homer and 4 ribbies, and Olivia Galati locked up her 25th win of the season and a 5-1 victory Sunday. Galati is now 1 win shy of a single-season school record in victories. The stage is now set for next weekend with the blue and gold playing host to Georgia State, where the winner of the 3-game series will host the CAA softball tournament. The Hofstra Pride baseball team has struggled away from home this season, posting a 2-15 record away from University Field. The going got tougher for the Pride this weekend as they were swept by CAA foe Georgia State in 3-game series. In Game 1, sophomore hurler David DeRico went only 2 2/3 inning, allowing 10 hits and 5 runs along the way. Hofstra lost Games 2 and 3 as well by a combined score of 19-3. They will be in action again tomorrow afternoon when they take on Long Island University. First pitch is at 3:30. That's all for sports. And Christian, I guess the real question here, and Veronica, the real question here was when LeBron took his talents to South Beach to form the Big Three, there was one immediate thought in most NBA fans' minds. Heat Celtics postseason, that thought came a reality Sunday afternoon, Game 1 in Miami. Fourth quarter, Heat up 10 when D-Wade goes up to LeBron for the big finish, extending the Heat advantage. Now, this was a physical one throughout, but the story was a play where Paul Pierce tossed after a hard foul on the back screen on Wade. Pierce's second tech of the game after scrapping earlier with Miami forward James Jones. He couldn't believe it, neither could his coach Doc Rivers, but it didn't matter as the Heat went up from there and they were able to go on and win the game and Game 1. So with that being said, NBA final time, but nobody was really paying attention to that after the Phillies.
All right, well, that's it for this edition of Hofstra News Now. Thank you so much for joining us.
We'll be back here next Monday at the same time.